I really think we should stop defining the success of something based on its longevity, right? I think oftentimes we find ourselves in certain situations or relationships, right? And in our minds, we thought it would last the test of time. In our minds, we thought that it would quote unquote last forever, right? Until it abruptly comes to an end and things don't go the way in which we expected it to go. And it sort of throws us into a spiral, throws us into a negative feeling, a sadness, right? And we sort of regret that it happened. We regret that things ended. We regret that you even met that person, right? And we consider it a total failure. But I believe that just because something ended doesn't mean it didn't work. Just because things didn't last the test of time like you imagined it would doesn't mean that it was a failure. And I believe that you met them for a reason. Everyone that you've met, the person that you met, where things didn't go how you wanted to go or things didn't go how you planned for it to go, you met them for a reason. See, here's the thing that most people don't understand or realize. Life is about growth. We are here on this planet to grow. Relationships are about growth as well, right? Every single person you meet or every single person that you enter a relationship with, even if it's a platonic relationship or whatever, they are meant to assist with your growth, right? Especially romantic relationships. I was saying the other day that because romantic relationships are so intimate, right? If you think about it, the people who we are with romantically, they see parts of us that other people in our lives might not see. They see the deepest and the most vulnerable parts of who we are, and other people in our lives might not see that, right? And that, I feel like that intimacy and that closeness and that vulnerability is the thing that sort of exposes things within us that is sort of meant for us to grow, right? Each person that you meet romantically sort of holds up a mirror to you, right? And things that you need to see, things that need to come to the surface are reflected back to you. And what is reflected to you, you're meant to receive that information, right? And use it to facilitate your growth. But I think oftentimes we get so stuck in the mindset of thinking that something is supposed to last forever. Or we get so stuck in the mindset of thinking that just because the thing ended, that it was an absolute failure. And we don't take the time to really look at the situation, sort of reflect on that situation and take out the lesson that we need to take from it, right? We don't use that time to evaluate the situation and find the meaning behind why that situation happened, right? I really believe that we need to sort of, not in a sense get so stuck on the past, right? I don't think we need to, be stuck on the past, but I really do think that we need to use the past as reference to who we want to be in this moment, right? And so just taking the time to reflect, look back at the situation and really ask ourselves, what was this situation teaching me? What is it that I needed to learn or pick up from that situation? What was it that was reflecting back to me that I need to take, receive it, and learn from it? What is it that that life was trying to teach me, right? That's what we need to do way more often, but I don't think we really do it enough. And I was at a point in my life in which I considered something a failure because it ended. But I think when you live life and you gain a bit of wisdom and understanding, you begin to sort of realize that everything in your life, whether it's good or bad, whether it's, favorable or unfavorable, is working in our favor, right? So I sort of look back at even my past situations, my past relationships, and I kid you not, every single one of them, I can really look at it and take away a lesson or 2 lessons or 3 lessons, infinite lessons that I could take away from that situation. Either that person came into my life, right, to show me that I need to love and accept myself more, right? Or they came into my life to show me that I had value that I didn't recognize, but just because I didn't recognize it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? There's so many lessons and so many things that I could take away, and everything that I took away from those situations helped me to grow and be the person that I am today, right? But if you're so stuck on thinking that the relationship failed just because it ended, you're not going to use those lessons for your benefit. You're not going to lose those lessons for your growth. And I think that sometimes, you might meet someone, right? And things last for a little bit and then it ends. But oftentimes those people are sort of preparing us for the person that we're meant to connect with on a more, longer basis, or, a person that we're meant to connect with in the future, right? I really do believe that. I believe that, and I don't want to say it like this, but I really believe that we have sort of pre-relationships and we have relationships, right? And the person that we're sort of meant to connect with on a deeper level, certain relationships before that prepare us for that person, right? And this could just be me being delusional, but this is just what I think, right? I really believe that everything is sort of helping us to build up to who we're meant to be, right? What stage of life we're meant to in, the person that we're meant to meet in the future, right? I really do believe that no matter what it is that you come across in life, it's always working for a reason, and you come into contact with it for a purpose, right? You meet everyone for a reason. I can even meet someone for 2 hours and I have a simple conversation with them, right? And it doesn't lead anywhere. And from that two-hour conversation, right, there's so many lessons and there's so many things that I learned from it. Just from one simple conversation. So many things that I picked up about myself. So many cues and lessons that situation taught me, right? That's how powerful meeting people are. And I think we need to sort of go through life, not in the sense that we don't have, any desires, but more so we don't get so caught up in our expectation of something. I think oftentimes we're let down because we sort of go into something with the expectation that it's supposed to last forever. And life doesn't work like that. Like I said before, nothing in this world truly lasts forever. Some things last longer than others, but nothing truly lasts forever. So being in the present moment, right, enjoying the person in the present moment, that truly is what life is about, right? Being present, right? Enjoying them. And when things end, you reflect on the situation and you ask yourself, what is it that I could take away from that interaction? And that's truly how you grow in life. But if we always only define something as a success, if it stands the test of time, then we're leaving a lot of growth on the table, right? We're leaving a whole lot of growth, because everyone comes into your life for a reason. Everyone comes into your life for a purpose, right? I really do believe that the growth, or the amount of growth that we make or we gain from a situation, is the true definition of success. I really do believe that. And I think oftentimes, like I said before in a previous video, the good things and the fruits and the extravagant dates, the good times with the person, it's enjoyable. But at the end of the day, we learn more things, or we gain the most wisdom and understanding from the things that are not so good, right? So oftentimes you meet someone and things don't necessarily go as planned. Maybe things are toxic. Maybe the situation isn't the healthiest, right? But when that situation ends, if you just allow yourself to reflect and look back at the situation, There's so many lessons that you can take away from it, right? So many things that you can learn from it. Maybe they were teaching you that you didn't love and you didn't value yourself as much as you should, right? Maybe they even reflected things back to you that you need to work on, right? Internal things that you need to change, right? There could be so many different factors, but only you can look at your situation and look at the situation that ended and ask yourself, what is it that I can take away? Let me stop looking at the fact that they ended, and let me allow my mind to sort of find the positives from that situation. Let me find the small seeds of growth that are within the situation, and let me find them and let me water them. That's what we have to do, right? Everyone you come across, you meet them for a reason. That person that you're so caught up on, or that person that is you're sort of sad that things ended with them, you met them for a reason. You met them for a purpose, right? Nothing in life happens without a purpose. Everything in this life is purposeful. Everything is divine, even the bad things. They are divine in themselves because they're the things that help most with our growth, right? So stop being so caught up on the fact that it ended. Rejoice, celebrate, right? I'm not saying you're not entitled to feel how you feel. Feel how you feel. Embrace that feeling. But while you're embracing the feeling, ask yourself, what is it that I needed to learn? What is it that I can take away? And once you find the lessons in that situation, water those seeds of growth, right? Because those seeds are going to be the thing that allows you to elevate, that allows you to ascend, that allows you to become a better version of yourself. And hopefully the next person you meet, you're in a better state. You're a better person to receive love and to love that person. But just because it ended doesn't mean it failed. Peace and blessings.